Hi, everybody. It is the Cameron Luke Fundraiser Auction Show. Here comes your intro.
Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, Facebook, and YouTube. Get all your sports news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B, Wrestling Roundup, The Big Football Show, and more, Shield TV, Lions Villain Report, and Red Zone Rant. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla, Grosef Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, The Bodkin Show, Spirit of Detroit Podcast, and Maniacs. The nightly podcasts are Hallis Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Skull Gang 365, The Huddle Sports Network Open Mic, First and 10 with Foz, Main Event Football Show, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports. Spitballing Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, Puckett, 313 Den Podcast, The Guys Huddle, Shots from the Sideline, Let's Talk Sports, The Michigan Truth Sports Podcast, Off the Rails, NFC Northeast, Power Hours, and Detroit Lions News. Make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe, and comment. Hope you like all the shows.
Here locally in the community, make sure y'all go check out Meat Cat Bodies by Jeremy Jones.
Good evening, everybody. Glad to see that Will Vogel and Smoking Dad is in the building already. Oh, God, it's Smoking Dad. I'm going to make it Mrs. Leonard and Mr. Leonard cringe. I just wish that was like 10 seconds longer.
Right, yeah, no, that's right.
It's got a good little, like, late 70s, early 80s disco groove to
Little
it.
little jazz thing going with it. Yeah, pretty nice.
SJB and Thrilla, what's good, men? Von Doom is here, too.
Somewhere.
I'm doing something.
I know he is. That's why I was just letting them know Von Doom is here too. So we are going to be auctioning off some stuff. I'm trying to let Cameron finish his dinner so he can join us. He's going to join us to tell about his condition. If you cannot afford to buy any of the items that we're auctioning off, I am going to just put my Cash App tag right here on the screen. You can Cash App me the money directly. Ooh, look at this. Right there. I just think this young man is in his 20s, has a newborn kid at home, passed out at work, and due to his kidneys are failing him, and he has to have a transplant. So I could care less if I raise him $20 or if I raise him $2,000. I want to. Ooh, that's cool. Oh, is that lion fat you did?
Mm-hmm.
Look at that bad boy. And he put a skull on the butt end of it, didn't you? A resin skull. That is badass.
Hey.
Cameron Luke, a regular on the Lions Fan Cave chat, collapsed at work about a month ago and was taken to the hospital, and he's going through kidney failure. So I'm doing Bertha Butt, Betty Butt, Bella Butt, and Bathsheba Butt. And my dad says, the Butt sisters. What all this about?
What's going on, Ricky? And Smoking Dad and Will. What's going on?
So I'm going to be auctioning off a few things. I believe that bat is going to be added into the auction if that's what I assume they're Von Doom. You must have walked away.
Doom, 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 doom.
And Strilla is donating something. Oh, he had to hop back in. What happened there, Von Doom? Oh, there
Sure,
it is.
bud.
And we're going to be auctioning off that custom serving tray. That is a Detroit Lions serving tray.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Go Lions all day long.
Here, we'll throw this in with it.
Oh, look at that. The pot leaf ashtray.
For all you potheads, there you go. What's up,
Oh,
Yoli?
And
Eric?
good news for the Giants. They signed Adoree Jackson today.
Oh, yeah, you guys might have a better secondary now.
Well, they had Deontay Banks on one side. So now at least the other side gets shored up.
What the fuck did I just put that?
I don't know, man.
Up your butt, you'd know.
That would really hurt.
With a coconut.
Steve Bowers in the chat. Yes, you could use it as a rolling tray as well, Joseph Austin. It's whatever you want. Smoking
Hey.
Dad has donated his Amon Ra St. Brown bobblehead to be auctioned off. Ricky, I will plead the fifth on that one.
What did he say?
What's up, PC?
Who's not a pothead these days? Jesus Christmas. I think something is the matter with you if you didn't get stoned. We all know you don't use that to serve food, PC says. Yeah, PC, let me send you the link. I know you want to be in here.
You said a rolling tray, right, buddy?
There you go. Rolling tray.
There
I
it
may
is.
have been on a Lions kick one night and started doing some stuff in those colors. But here, how about this? Where the hell is the damn thing?
Who signed that one?
Adrian Beltre.
Adrian Beltrain, huh? Oh.
Yep.
There you go. It's right now, Steve.
Auction. It's going to be starting shortly. I'm trying to let Cameron get here to explain his malaise to everybody.
I'm looking through my shit too. We're finding more stuff as we go. Fuck this. We got card people in here?
I'm quite sure we got some people that collect cards in here. DC, I just sent you the link. Hey, I would use it as a serving tray. Sorry. That or to sort my card collection on because I'm sorry, I don't smoke dope.
I would 100% roll on that.
I know you would.
Scoring last night.
Whose card is that one?
Last night, but not.
Is that Brett the Hitman Hart?
Yes, it is.
Oh, look at that. Wrestling fans.
Autograph.
Yes, it is.
Can I get a link for a few? Absolutely, Will.
Yeah, the more the merrier.
Put that up.
So we're going to start the auctioning of the Amon Ra St. Brown bobblehead, and it goes at $20. Who's going to give us $20 for Cameron? Start the bidding off. Bret Hart. Wow, does anybody hate Goldberg more than the Hitman? There's a couple.
No, there's not.
I was trying to be
you don't
nice.
want it to be.
Sorry, I don't have as much Lions stuff as everybody else because I'm a Giants fan, you know.
Well, obviously.
Ooh.
But you were a custom guy and you made some shit. That's what I'm saying.
I was just thinking what jerseys I could throw there, but I'm not. I like Cam and all, but I'm not giving up my LT one.
I hear you. Yeah. Don't do that. You're talking about the one with the Super Bowl patch, right?
Yep. Oh, we got
It's
Packers fans. Okay.
welcome in Will Vogel.
What's up, Will?
What's up?
We see your schnoz.
I'm at work,
I
but
know.
we're slow.
Thanks for popping in.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we're slow. It's storming outside. It's lightning, raining, thundering. Hopefully, people can go home soon.
Kind of like what it was doing here about an hour ago here in Flint when I was at, or 3 hours
I
ago
am.
now when I was at work.
Yeah, I had to help my coworker load like 20 pieces of lumber onto a cart. God,
So
I am exhausted.
it will come in the box. The only thing is the head doesn't bobble. So let's start the bidding at $15. That's ship price. I'm not adding anything to it. Does anybody want the Amon Ra bobblehead that was given out at the October 2nd, 2022 game, starting at $15 for the bidding?
Darn it! I paid $10 ahead of time. If you did 10, I was like, yes. No worries.
I'm just trying to get the bidding started.
Of course. Come on, B. You know you want it. Okay.
I'm actually auctioning off something too, and I'm going to be putting something. You said how long are you going to have the Cash App thing open for,
The
JB?
Cash App is open for the next 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks from now. We're going to do another one.
Cool.
Cool. I may have something by then I could get rid of, but I don't have lion stuff. That's the only downside.
I know because somebody sent me all his lion stuff.
What's up, Brett?
We are auctioning off a Amon Ra St. Brown bobblehead. The bidding is $15 to start. That's a ship price. It's going to cost us $5 to ship it, people. Steve Bauer says I'll bid 15. We got our first bid.
Good
15.
job, Steve.
Do I got 1750? Anybody want to bid 1750?
Dude, you guys are so lucky you didn't hear that. It felt like the whole building shook because of the thunder.
Oh, you're like Mike went dead for a second. I heard nothing there for a second. So that might have been because sometimes when lightning strikes are too big and the thunder's too loud, it actually interrupts the signal.
Okay. Steve said he'll bid 15. Okay,
I
Steve.
know. I got that first 15 in. Who's going to bid 1750?
Going once? Nah, I'm not going to do that.
Going once. Going twice. Steve Bauer wins the Amon Ra St. Brown bobblehead. That's
Thank you,
$15.
Steve.
That's going to be at least $10 going to Cameron, and every dollar counts, guys. Oh, James Burgess came in quick with a 20.
See,
Oh,
that's why you got to wait.
okay.
I'm at work,
I
Brent.
forgot. There's a minute delay. I forgot about the minute delay on YouTube. So we're at 20. We're at
Hey,
20.
Jeremy, just asking, how long are you going for? Because I'll be able to jump on when I get home for like a little
Uh,
bit. Till we get
Yeah,
off.
Will is
yeah.
in Carolina.
Yes.
Charlotte.
I'm at Lowe's Home Improvement working. But
In
we're
Charlotte,
slow.
right?
Yes. Yep. Yep. What's it called? Jeremy, I'm surprised you're not doing the going on like doing the speed talking like those people.
My name's not Eminem. I don't mumble rap. Man, the chat
Ah,
runs way too slow. No, you got it, James. You got it. $20 is the bid. Do we got another bid higher? Anybody gonna bid higher? We got 20, and that's a ship price. So technically, you're only paying $15 for a bobblehead.
We should give
which
him like
isn't
10
bad.
minutes. 10 minutes per bid.
Yep.
That would be good. That way we don't have to do the I'm going once, going twice kind of thing.
We do got some cool things we're gonna be doing. One is a
Yep.
piece of Smoking Jeremy B memorabilia.
Ooh. Oh wait, I know what I don't even need a bid on that because I know what to expect soon.
Oh, and right now I believe we have
that's the Home Depot
The
colors.
yellow shirt.
all right, Cameron.
Cameron,
What is it exactly
PC pay
that they call
low.
what you're
What's up,
having?
boys?
Is it just
What's up,
renal
PC?
failure?
Where?
Is it a
And
disease?
Cam?
What's up? So we went and saw Nephro. They're not sure what the exact cause is. My left kidney is shutting down. They're not sure what's causing it. They said that right kidney's healthy as can be, just left isn't working like it should be. They said it's just on a decline, and at this point, since I can live off one kidney, the easiest option is to just remove it. So
it's not in both; it's just the one.
no, it's just the one.
Originally, they thought it was both, though, is what you were saying.
Yes, they thought it was both. They thought that both were shutting down and that I was going to have a transplant. However, after doing a little more looking into it, they found out that it's just the one kidney. So
Thank God.
Thank God
I
for
mean,
that.
that's a blessing in the.
I mean,
in
it's still
itself.
messed up, but thank God
yeah,
for that.
I mean, now it's a little bit cheaper of a process, but it doesn't make it any better.
Right.
No.
Right now, we got $20 on an Amon-Ra St. Brown bobblehead. Trying to get the bidding up for you. It started
I
at
appreciate
15, and we're at 20. And James Burgess says, I had a Lewis Taint bobblehead back in the day, priceless. Orlando
What's up,
Escobar
Orlando?
Jr.
And
But-
Paul.
I'm not going to be on here super long.
No,
The medicine is kicking my ass right now, but I
Hey,
figured I would come
get it.
in.
I mean, that type of pain when stuff is failing in your body is different than what average people go through.
Yeah, I wanted to come in and say thank you from both my wife and I, and just
So,
kind of express.
We
how much
already
it's
got 10. The bid's at 20. Is anybody going to outbid James? We're going to run this bid for another minute at least.
Again, guys, it's for an Amon-Ra St. Brown bobblehead.
It's just like this one right here.
Shit, I might have to bid on that one.
No, the money's for you.
You cannot bid. No.
But it's Amon Ra, and Jeremy can tell you just by looking at my Facebook, I'm a huge
Yeah,
Amon Ra
dude.
St. Brown fan.
Oh yeah.
Come on, yeah.
Who
It was
ain't?
my first. It was my first ever Lions jersey. It was an Amon Ra St. Brown jersey.
Someone bid it for Cameron. Just kidding.
Yeah, getting sent to Cameron.
So, but
Pitcher for Boston.
Well,
I would
not.
I would auction off my Matt Stafford, but somebody might pay me to keep it.
Hey, Jeremy,
I would
can
not.
Something.
I don't think so. I think somebody would buy it.
Jeremy, can I auction my butt chin?
No,
Your butt chin.
no, because then you won't be semi-virgin anymore.
You're gonna need that someday.
Oh man. Will, please don't say stuff like that. It's so hard to be politically correct and not say the horrible things that came to my mind.
I know. I went there though, didn't I?
Orlando
No, I
already
do.
over there.
Butt
trying to
chin
see how
for
much
charity.
you can move to- No, you're talking about butt chins and stuff like that. Orlando's
Hey.
probably over there seeing how much you can move to his Cash App.
Hey, I had a really good zinger that made Jeremy laugh this afternoon. Where I said, I hope the
What's up, broski beer?
I said the Pampers are gonna have a shitty season. Get it? Pampers and shit because Pampers pick up shit.
Yeah,
so, but
it's pronounced Tiant, but it's I like saying it as Saint. PD got any bras for action, asking for a prank.
Oh my god.
but on that note, I'm gonna get some sleep.
Okay, buddy, you get some.
All right, buddy.
So
And
I
we're gonna
will.
do
I'll
this.
catch
And
you
we're gonna
later.
do it again in 2 weeks too.
Okay. All right.
Get
I
some rest,
appreciate it.
Cameron. We love you, man.
Talk to y'all later.
All right, brother.
Ooh, who is that? That is that Logan Webb?
Nope.
Is that Max Scherzer?
Is that Tariq Skubal rookie card
Ooh, that's even better.
on the top chrome purple?
Yeah, that's the hologram one, right?
That's one of them. It's one of the refractors. Then we
Right.
got Xavier McKinney rookie out of 149. Kyler Premier rookie, and then out of
So
what the
are
hell was
you?
this one? This was immaculate, I believe this one was. Yeah, immaculate. IU quad patch auto out of 75.
Wow.
I
Jeremy, I remember when I sent Jeremy the Calvin Johnson relic, game used relic.
I've still got it. It's
Game
put
used
up.
relic. Here, you want to see game news? Here we go. Event news right here.
Who is it?
Tyler Bertuzzi and Anthony DeClaire from the NHL All-Star game.
That's cool.
He sent me the used piece of relic of Calvin Johnson.
Yep.
That's staying in my personal collection. Sorry, guys.
Why the hell would you give that away, you dumbass?
Because I'm a good friend.
I said
All
what I
right.
said.
It's been well over 10 minutes since the last bid. It's gonna go to James Burgess at $20.
Hey, congratulations, James.
So
Very nice, James.
that's 15 towards Cam, and we raised 25 so far.
Yep.
Next order of business. Brand new tags and stickers still on it.
Oh,
I just bought it.
dang.
It's going for $15 starting
Dang it.
right now.
Is there anything for 10?
Yeah.
Hey, remember, let's say you don't have the money this week, but you want to pay it in 2 weeks. That's fine too.
Well, I
You
paid
take that.
in advance, but I can throw in a few after the
What you're hearing is the register line at Lowe's because it's given there's something given a background in your place
I'll
there.
go mute.
Yep. There it goes. As soon as you muted. And the fans go wild. So here we go, starting the bidding. I paid 20 for it. I'm offering it for 15 sheets. Ship. Who's putting the first bid on it? Brand new. It's just a Velcro back one. Mesh. Brand new Lions hat.
Oh, JB, can we throw a bunch of stuff up on the page too and auction it off for them on the page too?
Yeah, on my Facebook, the page
Yeah,
for the show, yeah. 100%. You can send me pictures and I'll put it up there too.
Okay, well, we got that tray here. And
Mhm.
I have another one here that I can make of anything they want.
Cool. So,
You remember the
like,
Michigan one and the Stafford one?
nope, someone needs to. There is no fire detector going off in the background. It might be a fan or something going. But it's okay. We'll deal with it. So we'll put this
Do I
on.
need to stay mute?
No, you don't need to stay muted. You're fine.
Oh, okay. I was just telling my coworkers
So
who
since no
run.
one bid and it's been about 3 minutes, we're gonna put that on the back burner for now. If somebody wants to place a bid on the hat, just say so. We also have starting at $20. Hey, smoking Jeremy B. Polo.
Nice. Come on, guys. Let's help Cameron out.
Ooh.
Hey, I know I'm getting one of those in the mail already. I wouldn't worry about it.
Something like that. Yep. I hear
I
nothing, but
swear,
I'm
Jeremy, I swear if it's a brown shirt that says BCP, I am not wearing it.
The fuck you aren't?
Ralph Williams of RW Media comes in and says hello.
Ralph. Hey, Ralph.
For those of you just joining, you missed Cameron, but he had good news. It's just one kidney failing, so it isn't a transplant he needs, but it's still an expensive surgery to have it removed. I just know he can't work right now, and his bills are piling up, so I'm just trying to help him out. That's what this is for. This is not to help me out at all. This is to help one of our folks.
What's up, Ralphie boy?
All right, we got a bid of 15 on the hat.
Awesome. Will
right.
from Home Depot. No, sir. I work for Lowe's Home Improvement.
Oh, Lowe's,
There you go.
Lowe's.
Clarify
That's the best
that, Will. Be proud.
Oh damn!
That's one of my spots.
All right.
I got
JB.
something too, if you guys don't
JB.
mind me throwing in.
Do the bell tray baseball. JSA certified next.
Hey, I'm gonna head out.
It's
I'll be back in a little bit, Jeremy.
extra large polo that has my logo printed on it. I love that one, Jason. So far, I'm in for 35. Good, because I need a new Lions hat because puppies are puppies. 100%, sir. And that's a custom polo. You can't get it anywhere else. It's $20. That's a ship price, guys. That's even if I got to drive it around the corner into Davison for you, Steve. It's an extra large. And we're about to start up a trivia night again. Because I bought the big book of NFL trivia today. All right, we got 20 on the polo from Steve Bauer. Thank you, sir,
All right, Steve.
for getting this roll. Oh, look at that. That none other than Richard Johnson.
1 year. So this was 84 before Calvin or before
Herman Moore.
or Herman Moore. He played for Detroit Lions for one season from 89 to 90.
Mm-hmm.
He had over 1,000 yards in his only season. It was his last season in the NFL. I believe he started with Washington. I pulled this out of my collection. So this is from 89. I got it. I got this out of a pack in 89. I don't have any more of this one. He's kind of an obscure player, but I guarantee you're not going to walk into a store anywhere in the last probably 20 years and find something like this. So you can set bidding however you want on it. It's a scorecard. So it's not, it's not upper deck. It's nothing super fancy.
Right.
But it is a bit of Lions history that I guarantee very few people have. So I just figured I'd throw that in, and you guys can do bidding however you want.
I would say very, very, very few people have.
Yeah, totally obscure guy. Played for Lions for one season, but thought it was cool. He wore 84. And in that one season, if I read this right, in one season he had 1,091 yards.
Wow.
Average of 15.6 yards reception, and he had 8 touchdowns that season. So he contributed quite a bit in that season. But anyway,
Richard
like
Johnson
throw that up.
selling
Anybody's interested?
computers when the Lions grabbed him out of nowhere. That's an interesting bit of trivia.
What year was that there, PC?
1989.
89.
Yeah. That's about when I was collecting cards. That's about right. Younger childhood days. I used to ride my bike down to this hobby shop. I lived in Mount Pleasant. My mom and my stepdad were going back to college. We lived in the Married Housing Complex, so I'd ride across town over to Main Street in Mount Pleasant, go to the hobby shop where they had sports cards, and get whatever you can get for $1. So.
Mm-hmm.
In 89, I was turning 19 and in the Army.
Wait a minute. Did you say Mount Pleasant? Where are you from, man?
I was born in Cadillac.
Cadillac, Michigan.
Oh, okay.
But I moved around a lot. My parents moved around. Had some military in my family a bit, so we moved. But for the most part, Michigan. I moved after I got older. I moved around for work a lot in the country.
And Jeremy, while you were in the Army, I was my second year in the Navy.
Thank you for your service, sir.
Well, thank you for yours too, sir.
I appreciate that. From one serviceman to another. We were doing the run and shoot when Richard had that year. Yep,
I'll put that back up so you guys can see it.
That's awesome.
Sorry, it's kind of hard with my light.
I mean, you're talking about something that you can't.
Oh, I saw it. I see it real good. It's good.
It's got a real pretty picture on it. It looks good.
It's nice.
All these cards have been in a.
Corners are good.
Yeah, corners are good on it. I mean, I'd say it's middle of the road condition. I mean, it's
Probably
it's
like
been
a
sitting,
6 or 7.
been moved around the country a few times, so it's hit some humidity and it's some dry climate. But
we're talking about ship prices, guys. So we kind of had to start the bidding at like $5 if you want the card.
I'm fine with it. Whatever you want to do for it, whatever helps.
But we got 20 on the polo. That tray table, Leonard put a lot of work into it, and that's not cheap wood. That's good wood, and it's an epoxy resin coating on it. That's not going to chip or go away. all that decals underneath the tray are there forever,
And it's hand painted.
and it's hand painted. Yes, so that fitting is going to start at $70 because you just can't get that at the store.
Nope.
You can serve your drinks or roll your weed, whatever you choose.
And he's going to throw in the ashtray.
If
Will's
they're a
back.
smoker, I'll 100% throw in that ashtray.
Okay, I'm back for a little bit.
Must have had a
So,
cup.
Jeremy, my boss comes to me. One of my head leads is a Seahawks fan. And he comes to me and he said, "Did you see the Panther in here?" And I said, "No. It was, I think, Darren Lewis, who we got from the Seahawks."
Oh, cool.
And I said, "Dang, I wish I met him." He's like, "It's funny because he's an O lineman. Isn't as big as he thought."
It's amazing when they're outside of their pads. People don't think they're big. They're still big.
I don't know if you guys saw the link I put in earlier in the roundtable chat, but Greg Olson, Luke Kuechly, and Jonathan Stewart are coaching a middle school team near me.
That's awesome.
Jonathan Stewart's a bum.
You're a bum.
Damn.
He fired right back. He didn't hesitate. He's growing a pair. And I'm not talking about a cheeks on his chin.
When you lean in like that, your butt
One
chin looks a
second.
lot bigger, dude.
Yeah.
No, it's so much worse when
You
he
go back
shaves
here
and
like
he's
this,
laying down.
shadow off of it, stretch it out.
Hey, it looks like his camera's imitating Pike when he's looking at that golf poster on the
Now listen for the noises, everyone.
kind of like Dalton. I thought he'd be bigger. Great
That's what
reference
she
to
said.
another good movie,
Yep.
Roadhouse. So, PC, how was your week?
I had a root canal. It's fantastic.
And what did you think of the 53-man roster?
Couldn't hear what I said, could you? Did that go garbled again?
No, I said it sounded like you said you had a good week, right?
Oh, no, I had a root canal.
Oh,
yeah. Well, that's not good.
Yeah.
Okay, that was all sorts of
Went
messed up
straight
then.
in. Spent 3
yeah,
weeks in bed.
yeah, because it sounded like you said I had a real good week, and I didn't hear the root canal. No.
No, it was good times.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure.
But in perspective, when other people have worse problems, you try not to think about it. So,
Correct.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time just watching a lot of videos this week. I kind of got caught up on all the free agency stuff, end of the hoopla and who we got back and who came through the wire and who made it through, who didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if we're going into that tonight, but
We can in a little bit. I'm just trying to let the stuff go and
JB.
get it. Yes.
Beltray baseball started at $10.
Adrian Beltre autograph baseball, $10 shipped.
John, give me the 10 I put down earlier for Cameron. If that counts, Jeremy.
It's not a buy; it's an auction. Somebody could
Okay.
outbid you. You remember?
Yeah,
Remember,
that's fine.
we're doing this for 2 weeks, dude.
I know.
So
I'll do.
if they don't
I'll-
sell tonight, yeah,
I'll do
I'm
10.
didn't keep bets on the practice squad either. There's a couple guys on there that I would have rather had him there instead of them. But overall, I'm not upset with the practice squad.
I'll do 10.
Yo, you got 10 on it? Okay. We got
Yep.
10 for the Adrian Beltre baseball from Will.
So do I
And
pay?
it's got the little
if
ball
I-
cue display too.
James Burgess has won the hat as well. So he gets the Amon-Ra St. Brown bobblehead and the hat for $35.
Awesome.
We're about 1 minute away from Steve Bauer winning the Smoking Jeremy B polo. I know if Broski Bear outbid him, it would be to burn it.
Hey, Jeremy, would I have to send another 10 for the?
Yeah, you can wait
Beltre?
until you got it to send it. That's fine.
Oh, we can't use the one I already sent earlier. If not,
No,
fine.
because you said I'm donating because I don't plan on buying anything. Those were your exact words.
True. True.
Like, you can't take a donation and then turn around and go, "Oh, that's for my purchase." They don't
Yeah,
do
that
that
was
with
dirty.
they don't do that with the Labor Day one.
Oh, of course, Jane.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll
Steve.
pay you. I'll pay you start of this month.
Hey, nope. Yeah, that's Monday.
Yep.
Gotcha.
That's a holiday.
It is a
I
holiday, so
put
you'll
on
be
an
paying.
item for
I
10.
Happy
know you.
Labor Day, everybody, and ahead of time.
So
Ah,
if
took a day
anybody
off.
wants that custom Detroit Lions stripe, or if you want one made for any team you follow, because I know we got Packer fans in here, we've got Bears fans in here. I've got fans that watch and never make a comment.
Hey,
You can either use
go
my
ahead.
Cash App down here, or if you've got PayPal, I'll have to give you the email for my link, James Burgess. I'll email it to you. But I have
You
my PayPal my Cash App tag right there.
do you have Venmo or no, Jeremy?
No, I don't have Venmo.
That's okay. Von Doom just asking for the ball. Does it have like an authenticity thing?
Yes, got the JSA sticker on the card.
That's awesome.
Let's go.
I would show you right now, but my phone was at like 2%, and I ran over to
Did
see
you
it was
already
charging.
answer James there, JB?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Okay.
I'll email you the link back there, James. Whichever is easiest for you. You can either Cash App it, or I can send you my PayPal. I don't. Leonard, you take Venmo, right?
Yes.
We will send you Leonard's Venmo by email.
Mine? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be great because I have someone.
I work tomorrow. You want me to bring the polo with me, Steve? Because you've won the polo. I'm managing tomorrow afternoon from 2 to 7.
Oh,
Yeah, make
sucky,
sure
sucky.
if I could get Leonard's Venmo, that'd be best because I have some
Like I
leftover
said,
money.
Bill, if you'd have been listening, I'll email you his Venmo details later.
Okay, sorry. Some guy came up to me.
Yep. He was on the screen when I said it the first time. Like kids these days, I swear. So yes, I do like what we have. It looks like because now that okay, I'll see you tomorrow. 100%, Steve. I'll bring it with me. Thank
All
you for
right,
your
Steve.
donation.
Yeah, thank you, Steve.
Now it's time for the big piece I'm doing. Charles Harris signed mini helmet. And yes, it's certified. It's got the JSA cert right there, the stickers right here. $50. And you have the cash, that's perfect. So far we've raised $60
Oh,
already
shit.
for Cameron. And we're only 39 minutes in. And I'm not doing the auction like a regular auction. If you want it, you just tell me you want it. I'll wait a few minutes. If nobody else bids, it's yours. That's the way we're doing it.
I'll throw in that card with the helmet.
Throwing the card with the helmet.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, okay.
That's great.
For
Thank you.
anybody who didn't
See?
see it, that's what would be with the helmet.
So it's
Sweet.
the helmet plus the Richard Johnson. Charles Harris's signature does go for $65 when I looked it up on JSA. So me selling this for 50, it isn't even as much as I got invested in the helmet because I went and met him in person. That's how I got the shout out for my intro video.
Some prick couldn't even put the thing right, though. He couldn't say it properly.
Hey, I'm happy he did it for free. I offered to pay him.
Hey, Von Doom, thanks for the ball, man. Appreciate it. I'm happy to contribute to a brother.
Not a problem, man.
Dude, Andy's the newest Hall of Famer, if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
One of them.
One of them, yes. Uh,
So Von Doom, you can't go on camera yet, can you?
No, I only have. Hang on, let me see what my percentage is at. I am at 9% right now. But
Yeah,
when it
yeah.
hits
Just
like
wait.
15, I'll jump on.
I will bring that to work with me, Steve. I'll fold it, put it back in a nice little plastic container for you, and make sure it's Ziploc shut.
It'll be from Love Jeremy. No, I'm kidding. I'm
No,
kidding.
I am not saying that to another.
I was kidding.
I love my fans, but I don't love them that much.
I know, right? Same with my fans. I'm like, you
There's a
can.
line that needs to be drawn. That's for sure.
But if no one bids
Get a
on the
crayon.
helmet, this will go back in next week. The same with the tray. And that was a really cool bat that Von Doom showed, but no one was here to see it at the time. That's what sucks.
Dude, that bat is dope.
That's a custom made bat. You know, the bat, the custom made Lions bat, isn't that a Louisville Slugger, Von Doom?
I don't remember.
I think it is.
I sanded all that down before I did a fractal wood burning on it.
It's badass. No, the camera's not banned. He's just oh, there it is. There's the bat, guys.
Hey, I've got to go, guys. I'll be back later.
Yep, come back after you're home. But that bat goes for 70 as well, right, Von Doom, to start?
Whatever you want to start it, I don't even give a damn.
Yeah, I'm starting at 70. You put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in that thing.
Did you epoxy that yourself?
Yes, and I electrocuted myself twice while I was doing the fractal wood burning on it.
That's what I'm talking about. He put blood, sweat, and tears in that fucker.
Yeah, you put something in there.
I've done a couple river tables for customers, and they're a pain in the butt.
Dude, it is such a pain. Oh, you know what? Hang on.
You gonna show the picture of the big table?
No, I'm gonna walk my ass out to the freaking shop where it's at.
Oh,
Von Doom and I could talk for hours.
Dude, my shoulder was fucked, and I was freaking on workers' comp for a while, and I had to figure something to do with my freaking time. And I saw all those things on freaking like TikTok and shit, and people doing cool stuff, and I was like, "Yo, I can make electricity."
Steve Bauer at 100% is because James Houston did. That's the only thing I can come up with. They thought Upu would come back to the practice roster, and James Houston wouldn't. Because no one's seen Upu play. Oh, and he's back. All right.
I lost service. Hold on, I'm trying to see if I can get my light on in here.
You made it back to squad though. That's fine. I mean,
Right. He's one of those guys that can and probably will be called up.
I was just surprised. I think somebody mentioned it earlier that Bestit was a surprise.
I thought that was a surprise. We talked about it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I thought for sure he'd come back to the practice squad. But when he didn't, that's what really shocked me. I mean, because if it wasn't for, oh, look at that. That's my table.
Wow, that's nice.
That's my podcasting table for when I go out. Heavy as fuck, too, ain't it, Leonard?
Dude, it seems like fucking 45 pounds.
I couldn't tell from the pic what kind of wood is that.
White oak.
White oak and epoxy. Yeah, that'll be heavy.
Yeah, 100%.
I built like a 3-inch thick one out of walnut, and it took 2 of us to lift it in the back of the truck to deliver it to our customer. and it wasn't even that big.
This thing's like 42 inches long by like 25.
Ooh, yeah, it is big enough. That's perfect.
That's what she said.
It is what she said. That's why I had 5 kids.
Did she now?
No, that's why I got 5 kids.
She's there. We can ask her.
Hey,
No,
Judy,
he's out in the shed now.
check this out.
Oh, look at that.
You
That's
see this
dope.
hole right here?
Yeah.
And those two?
Yep.
I'm making a hookah.
Oh, Lord.
New York Giant hookah.
Uh-huh. It's freaking
Yes, I agree with
white
that.
chrome and red chrome on it.
Possibly my happiest bit of camp was watching Manu have several stretches of playing well and moving really smoothly. He really improved from game to game as you watched him. It was kind of shocking to see him get that grasp that fast.
He brain farted a couple times in game 3, but
No, yeah, I mean, but I'm talking about overall his blocking ability
yeah.
was good. His brain farting was false starting.
Yeah, well, I mean, Decker still does it at least once a game, so
I've called it. I don't know if I called it in because you know how they got that suggestion line that you can call down to Allen Park and leave a message, and they listened to them all, and they laughed. I called down and I said, "Why don't you take those 4 wide receivers on the practice squad and do a last man standing steel cage match, no disqualifications. Whoever walks out the cage wins."
Oh, that's nice. What is
And
that? Is it a
Christmas
Mike
ornaments.
Tom
Christmas
Kennedy,
ornament? Okay.
dude, I thought that was a shifter ball. I'd give you money.
That's why I didn't see the
I'd
top
give you
of it
money for
well.
that. Yeah, put that in my Jeep. That'd be sick.
yeah,
I can
that's
make a shifter ball no problem, actually.
I would love a blue epoxy shifter ball, like mixed with wood and like a Lions logo stamped in the top. That'd look sick.
It would.
I'll work on one next week.
Look at that.
I
You
made a
asked
set of
and you shall
Dragon Balls
receive.
out of epoxy the other day. From the Dragon Ball Z shit.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Hey, keep your mind out of the gutter, you perv.
I was going to say, how do you know how big a dragon's balls are?
Oh, well, I just measured your
Oh.
mouth, and then,
Oh,
I,
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, I knew he was going to say something evil. Oh, but overall, I'm glad Manu made the roster. Sorsdal made the roster. Skipper made the roster. Coyote Awasika made the roster, even though they hardly used him this preseason, which I thought was a little bit surprising. But yet, I get it because he did well in the games he was starting towards the end of the year while Jonah Jackson was out. Whoop. You glitched out on me, PC. You there? Nope. There you go.
Oops.
There it is. I want to thank everybody for coming in. If anybody wants to make a bid on any of the items we haven't had a bid on, I'm going to go ahead and throw my email. I'll bid $100 on a 1974 40 Hemi 4-barrel Dodge Challenger with the RT package. Yeah, you
I
better.
bet 101. 101.
I'm at 102.
103.
150.
200, and I'll throw in 3 kids.
Damn.
You just lost the 200 then because taking the 3 kids on,
Shut
they
up.
do more than that a week.
Shut up.
Damn.
And then we're going to get into a little bit of Lions talk here a little bit more. Seeing how there hasn't been a lot of people on.
Ooh,
We'll
we
just
got
do it.
really
Can I put mine up there? 'Cause,
Yeah, and we do have
please.
one more item. And I think we're going to start that at 20 as well, Chip. It is a Herman
What is that?
Moore from Oklahoma State bobblehead
And
that
does
is
have the
certified.
certified. Yep.
That's from the Headliners line, if I remember right.
Yep.
Correct?
Headliners. Yep. You got it. The XL headliners. Yeah.
We're starting the bidding at that at $20 ship.
That's Herman Moore in Virginia colors.
So if anybody needs to get a hold of me about any of the items we put up that have not been bid on, you can email me. That'll be the easiest way. Because not everybody's on Facebook, not everybody's on Twitter, even though they should be by now. But I know some people just got sick of it and left social media because it's getting crazy out there.
They will not be living off the grid.
We got any Notre Dame fans in this bitch?
Notre Shame.
Notre Shame. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I like that.
Yeah, that's a nice custom drip.
That's
Notre Shame.
really nice. Yeah.
I call them Notre Shame. I have for years. Shame on them for not joining a conference for football.
Why would they? Best of both worlds.
Yeah, they get overrated every year to fall off the top 25, and they get NBC money every year.
Exactly.
Now let's see if that's what is the first question.
What the hell is my call?
Bronco Nagurski.
Nope. Who was the first quarterback to be named the most valuable player in the NFL?
Johnny Unitas.
No, it's way before that.
Ted Luckman.
Give me a
Before
decade.
the 30s.
Holy
30s.
crap.
Oh, yeah, I would have been wrong then. I was in the 50s on that one.
30s.
Wow. Cleveland's first MVP isn't even a
Jim Thorpe?
Brown, it's a Ram.
Who was it?
Parker Hall.
No clue. Before my time. I'm not that old.
But
Yeah,
out of the 102 seasons that the NFL's been around, 33 of them have been quarterbacks that have won the MVP.
Well, yeah, it's the most important position. Of course, that's going to be the case. And it's probably going to be that way going forward. If not way more. Ooh.
I'm shocked it's not more than 33, though.
It was a running league, though, for the long time, man.
That one's too easy. Can't do it.
Was there ever a kicker that got it? Ever?
MVP?
Yeah, like you'd think that one kicker would have been like perfect one year. I don't know if that's actually true or not either. That's a good question too.
I'm going to ask it right now on Google because I don't know the answer to that question. That's a good
How
one.
many games have been won by that last long field goal, right?
Wow. There is one.
Is he current? Meaning in the 80s, 90s?
80s, yes. Most valuable player in 1982.
Raiders?
No. This team has changed their names more than where they're at.
Cardinals?
I feel like he's playing on an East Coast team.
Rams?
It was an East Coast team, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's an East Coast team.
It's got starts with an M, doesn't it?
There it
my God.
is. He got
I
it
can't
in
remember
there.
the name though.
James Burgess got it right. Mark Mosley
Mosley, yeah.
during the
During
strike.
the strike year.
Yeah,
Of course.
became the first and only kicker to ever receive the award
Of course.
because he made 23 consecutive field goals. in that strike shortened year.
Wow.
That's massive. I'm sorry. He had a 95.2 success rate in his career up to that point. I'd say that's pretty worthy. If it's a shortened season and they're leading and because of him, 100%. Hell yeah.
I just looked him up. He's still around too. He's 76 years old.
Wow.
Still kicking. Lives in Texas.
In 9 games, he scored a total of 76 points.
Damn.
In 9 games.
Yeah, that MVP is like a select few positions usually. You're talking wide receiver, running back, quarterback, maybe a defensive end if he gets more sacks than the quarterback gets QBs or gets touchdowns rather. But I can't think of any other position that would frequently get it. But yeah, quarterback, wide receiver, running back most likely are the 3 top.
MVP has become a popularity contest. It's dominated by quarterbacks anymore. I just figured I'd throw that question out there. And then when that one came back about the kickers, I was like, ooh, that's a good one. I don't even know that one.
Okay, man. This thing's dying really quick. I'm going to be out for a little while.
Okay.
All right.
Yep. I'll talk to you later.
Yep.
All right, man.
Yep. Later.
He's got to spend time with them. No, never mind. I know what that was about. Canadian Baseball League. I saw a funny video the other day, and it was in their national game for their championship. There was a base runner trying to take third, and they allowed checking in baseball. So that means, like, if you're running down the base path and you're blocking the thing, the runner can literally shoulder check you to get to the base. If you don't tag him with the ball in your glove, you're not out. You know what I mean? It literally, the ball and glove have to be together when you're tagged. And he's running up, and you see the guy lower his shoulder, and he's coming in like this, and the third baseman braces himself. It just gives him a little shoulder check himself. Knocked the guy flat on his butt. It was the funniest thing I ever seen, and everybody's saying, "Oh, the runner should be awarded the base." I said, "This isn't American baseball rules, people. It's a
Football,
different
you got
league."
it right.
Yeah, it's that's base football. That's what it is. I said their version of baseball is a lot closer to hockey. They just can't carry their bats as they run the bases.
There you go. Can you imagine that?
Well, I know that obviously the MLB rule is that both players, say it's a second base, kind of deal, both player positions have the right to that bag.
Right.
So, if he's got his foot in front of the bag, you can kick that out of the way. Obviously, you're going to be sliding into second. Home plate's different because you're going to, you can run the guy right over. But it's not like every base. You're not going to be doing that.
Oh, this is every base. He could try to truck you as he's trying to get third base if you're in front of the bag. And this guy
I think that would be appropriate rule for second, third, and home plate. Yeah, first base, I would
never adopt that though.
I know
too much money in those players. They don't want to get them hurt.
But
they be asking for more money.
This guy's going, well, what do you mean? I said, it's not MLB. It's CLB. There's a big difference. It's Canadian
baseball. Contact baseball league.
It should
there
be.
You go.
But it's the Canadian League Baseball,
What other trivia you got there, JB?
Oh, you want some more? Let's go to somewhere. Let's go. I'm just going to open to a random page.
You
already know this is false. I can't answer that one. What NFL team holds the record for most tied games in a single season? It was a long time ago.
How many in one season?
Oh, it's our favorite team, ain't it?
Yeah, it's our favorite team. one of their favorite fans enters our chat and talks crap all the time. Rawr.
Wow.
Go Bears.
Right.
1932 Chicago Bears tied games 6 times in one season.
That's freaking ridiculous. It means they
There
weren't
was
too bad and they weren't too good.
We all know it's false. As soon as I read the question, I didn't even have to look at the answer. It says, "Is Brad Johnson the only player to throw a touchdown to himself?" We've seen it done like 10 times over the last 20 years. He was just the first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But James Ridges says, "When playing catcher, if I saw someone come in to roll me, I'd out and meet him 10 feet from the plate, and I had armor, and yes, I fucking used it." That's the way it used to be. There's very few guys. Yes, Chicago did it 6 times in one season, and that was in 1932, 2 years before the Lions were the Lions.
And that was before overtime, because overtime didn't come into the game until the 70s.
Right. But it's crazy that's the only time that any team did it that much. They tied twice with the Fort Smith Spartans that year. Who'd that team become?
Oh, the Lions.
Right. I remember Michigan going 8-0-4 one year. Yeah, that was a while ago. Long while ago. Yeah,
Yeah, it was 1974 when they started overtime rules.
wow. How many wide receivers have been selected with the first pick in the NFL draft?
Oh, God.
Lot.
No, it's not a
Really?
lot.
Well, QB is obviously number one.
Right.
But that I'd have to look up. I just assume, I mean, a lot. Well, what is a lot relative to what, right? So a
Well,
lot
think about
compared
it.
to a quarterback?
The
No.
NFL draft started in 1936.
So that's 90 years, roughly.
Right.
Roughly 90 years. 98 years.
Holy crap. You ain't lying. It ain't a lot.
Right.
I'm
It's not a
cheating.
lot at all. It's a lot less than you guys think.
I can hear you typing, so I know you're cheating.
Right.
Yeah, it's 3.
That's it.
Yep.
I would have
That's
guessed
it.
like I would have guessed 10 times that. I would have guessed like 25, 30 of them.
The first was
Yeah, if
Dave.
I had to take a gander, I probably would have said the same thing too. Yeah.
The first was Dave Parks from Texas Tech, who was drafted by the San Francisco 49ers in 1964. The next came 20 years later when Nebraska's Irving Fryer was drafted by the New England Patriots. And the
Different
last
figures.
one came out of USC, Keyshawn Johnson.
Keyshawn Johnson, 1996.
So between that first guy and 20 years later, how many quarterbacks in that time?
Quarterback. You know the quarterbacks have dominated the first pick overall. How many have been successful?
If it's anything like every other sport, it's probably in that 20, maybe 20 to 25 percentile are successful, if not less. I mean, if you look at like,
there's a 68% bust rate.
yeah, if you look at most professional sports, it's 25% or less. I mean, like, I watched the hockey draft. I paid just as much attention to hockey as I do football, and it's even less. It's like 10%, and that's first overall pick. It's actually at like 13% first overall picks are in the league for more than 10 years. I think that's what they consider success, which is insane.
How many do you think?
How many quarterbacks in general
have been taken with the first pick overall in 88 years?
Percentage-wise, I'm going to say 85%.
Oh.
Lower?
I would say about in 70 years, Yeah, let's see. It's 24. Probably about between 25 and 30 quarterbacks.
A little bit more.
32,
Still a little higher.
37.
Now too
You
high.
just
It's 35. It's 35.
you just lost in the Price is Right. You lost your whole show.
Right?
Yeah, you just overbid. You
How
went
much
for
was it? 35?
35 exactly.
That was my next guess. No.
I know two of them by the Lions at specifics. One did really good, and one was a bum.
Yeah,
Well,
Stafford
one was
good.
Stafford's
Who was
one. Who
Stafford,
was the bum? Harrington?
Harrington?
Andre Ware.
Oh,
Andre
yeah,
Harrington.
that's right, because he was a
Harrington
Heisman
was
Trophy
second
guy.
Harrington, when was Harrington
overall.
selected?
He was second overall that
Second?
year.
Yeah.
And technically, we got a first pick overall on the roster still. Jared Goff.
Yeah, Jerry. Yeah. We didn't draft him, though. That's the
But
difference.
let's see. John Elway was selected by the Broncos in '87. Then there was Michael Vick, Matt Stafford in 2009, Terry Bradshaw back in 2070. Just since what's funny is how much it is since the year 2000. Since the year 2000, there's been 17 of those 35 picks.
Yeah, it's a passing league. That's when it started turning the passing league.
Right.
Need a quarterback to do that. Three wide receivers still at number one.
Yeah, who thought that? There's been a lot more defensive ends, I bet.
How many teams probably wish they would have picked a wide receiver first? You look at you just go down the list. Who wouldn't have picked Jerry Rice as the number one overall pick?
Oh,
He was like to what, fourth round? Sixth?
Yeah, let's think about that. Like every team would have picked
Tom
him first.
Brady.
Yep.
Yeah, sixth round too. So
I guarantee Amon-Ra goes in the first round based on what he's done so far. If hindsight's 2020.
Okay, so I got a list of every single one of them. It's up to 2013 with the first pick overall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. That's crazy. Only 6 defensive ends. Defensive tackle.
that's the second most.
3, 4, 5, 6. 6 as well. Yeah, Eli Manning, it does count, even though he was picked by the Chargers at 1 and traded back to the New York Giants at 4. I think as soon as that trade was made, Phillip Rivers should have been announced as the number 1 pick overall.
So running backs.
Running backs is the one that's dominated. They have 15.
And then centers, then guards, then defensive backs.
Yeah, there's been a lot of DBs. There's not a lot of
Least likely positions to produce first teamers, tight end, quarterback, wide receiver. Well, that's first teamers. Talking about draft.
What about offensive tackles? Offensive tackles, there was about 9 that I saw between 2013 and 1936. Now, back in the old
pro
days,
centers.
they weren't called running backs and defensive ends. It was just backs and ends. That's all they were called. So I got to add about 4 more ends in there, and there's probably about 8 more running backs than back in the early days. that being said, what do you think about my idea of having to do the last man standing match in a steel cage to figure out who will be the fifth wide receiver on the roster once Kaminsky goes to IR?
So who I gotta look up the practice squad roster here.
It's Tim
We got
Patrick, Allen
DPJ
Robinson,
back on there, right? Got Kennedy on there.
Allen Robinson, and Tim Patrick.
Allen Robinson. Yeah, we picked up those two guys. From how they talked about the two pickups, sounds to me like the only reason they're on the practice, well, obviously there's restrictions as far as how many people you can have on a team. But they need to learn the playbook, so they're not coming up until they even, they're not even close to coming up.
Well,
Obviously
I said
DPJ has
if it's a steel cage match, last man standing, the camp cockroach that always survives, Tom Kennedy would win.
Tom Kennedy, he's kind of like that fan favorite guy that you're always rooting for, right? But he's just stuck in that category where he doesn't have the size and the speed. He's stuck in that slot category where they were even hesitant to keep, Isaiah. So you're kind of in that predicament where you're looking for that bigger body, and look who they went out and signed, 2 big bodies. So we'll see. I mean, I think it's going to come down to those 3. I think Kennedy is unfortunately perpetually stuck on the practice squad.
He is.
I told you he's going to retire in the practice squad.
This is the last year he can be on a practice squad. This is his 6th year.
Like I said, he's going to retire. He's not going nowhere. He's not going to go to no team.
No, he's been around. He's been around every single, time, and nobody picked him up. So
Michael Huck's got it right. That's what it would be: DPJ versus Robinson, and I still got Robinson.
And I forgot that Robinson was a hometown boy.
Yep, both of them Detroit, Michigan.
I mean, he was kind of around, and I know that they looked at him a few years ago.
Just because I was so high on him and I did enough research, I had to go pull up CCTV of the Saginaw Valley State Cardinals that year when we picked them up as a UDFA. Last year in the UDFA, Trevor Nowoski gets to return home to Detroit, who's from Canton, Michigan, a former first-team all-defensive player in high school. We got him off of waivers from Arizona. He's on the 53-man roster.
And they wanted him back for what, 2 years now?
Right. No, it was last year.
Was it last year?
Last year he was the UDFA. Remember, we brought him up late in the season, but Chauncey Gardner-Johnson got healthy, and we had to demote somebody, and they demoted him, and Arizona snatched him up immediately.
Right. Yeah.
Which was funny because they snatched, we put him on the practice squad on Monday. Tuesday morning, 9 a.m., he was gone. And what's funny is that week they played San Francisco. What does he do? He goes out there and gets 2 sacks. You know how pissed I was about that? I was like, God damn it. We've been clamoring for anybody to get sacks opposite Hutchinson. They just let him walk.
Trying to remember the name of the linebacker that we capped over Summers. Was it Neiman?
Yes.
Yeah, I went back and watched Game 3 of the preseason to kind of get an eye on him because he just kind of been laid up and on meds trying to get better. So biding my time here, and it's like, you know what? I'm going to go back and watch all these guys that we got afterwards and see, just kind of keep an eye on them. And he's got really, really good instincts for a linebacker of his class, being, kind of like that second string, practice squad level. He's underfined, but he's very quick. He makes really good decisions really quick off the line. That tackle that he had where he went behind the entire offensive line and got that guy in the backfield, he didn't sneak back there. He just beat everybody back there. And that was good to see. So I see what they like about him. I saw one tackle where he came from off camera, like at the top of the screen, and came all the way in and kind of sniped that guy too. So I think he's got good instincts. I like what they see in him. But I also like Summers. I thought Summers was very good at staying in his lane. He didn't over pursue. So it was I bet you when it came down to both those guys, they probably had quite a conversation about who they were going to keep there.
Oh yeah.
Damn it, trying to figure out what
Trying
the
to get the
hell.
last year's RAS score because I had been on a show with Kent Lee Platt in the off season as a guest, and I got he's the guy they call Math Bomb. He's the one that devised the mathematic equation to get the relative athletic score. There it is. Trevor Nowaski. He scored a 9.85 out of 10. The only thing he came up wrong on was his weight. He had let's see, what is it? He was 6 foot 2.5 inches tall, so basically almost 6'3". He had a 34.5 inch vertical. He did 25 bench reps. He had a
Was
broad
it?
jump. Trevor Nowaski, the kid out of SVSU.
Yeah, I keep thinking I remember somebody saying it was his arm length that held him back a little bit too.
Nope, they
But I
just said
could be mixing him up with
his arm,
somebody else.
his arm length is almost 32 inches long. For 6'2", that's actually decent.
Okay.
He had a broad jump of 8.8 of 10'2", which equaled out to an 8.85 grade. He ran a 4.540. He had a 2.65 20-yard split, a 1.58 10-yard split. His shuttle time was 4.2 seconds, and he did the 3-cone in under 9 seconds. I Steve Bauer, I told you why. They didn't want to risk losing Houston to another team by him getting poached off of the waiver wire. So they put him on the active roster. Isaac Upu only has game film versus second and third string guys. So it was easier with him not having any NFL reps to get him back onto the practice squad by going through waivers. And it made a lot of sense to me when I heard that's what we were doing. But out of the 2,503 linebackers that they crunched their numbers from 1987 to 2023, Trevor Nowaski ranked 38th overall out of 2,503 linebackers that have been through the combine since 1987.
And who cut him?
We didn't. They put him on waivers, and we did a waiver claim to get him back from the Cardinals.
Gotcha. I thought he was with the Cardinals for a year.
Nope, he was only with them those 2 games. He was
Gotcha.
on their practice. He was on their team at OTAs and at training camp, and they waived him.
I wonder why. I didn't see his
No,
performance.
that was one of those guys that Brad Holmes said he's really excited to see on the field. Couldn't wait to see what he does in a year or two when he develops. So as soon as he saw he was waived, he goes, "Oh, I know who we're getting. I'm getting my guy back." Because when you claim a waiver claim, they automatically go to the 53.
Yeah, I just did. You watch the press conference from yesterday
Yes, I
with
did.
him and
Yeah.
Egg? I can't remember if they talked about Trevor and that. I think they commented on it.
They did, yeah.
It
But
was kind of that type of background on it. I'm just glad we got our guy back.
So was Brad.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. That's what Brad basically said. I'm just glad we got our guy back. That's how he worded it.
Mm-hmm.
that
Because
must feel
remember,
good to him to hear that too. For Trevor to
they
hear
did
that.
that 4 weeks of protecting him when they heard that other teams were looking at him. And at the end of that 4 weeks, if you don't bring him up to the active roster, he automatically goes on waivers. So they had to bring him on the active roster because we didn't know when CJ would be back, and then he came back healthy. So they could put him back on the practice squad, but he wasn't protected. That was the problem. Yep, Arizona was trying to practice squad him via waivers. James Burgess said that I can't remember who it is, but it's a buddy of his and the owner of the Coney Island restaurant there are upset they lost Trevor Nowoski because they loved him down there. If
Yeah,
I were
he's not. I was looking at his stats. He's not. He's not a small guy.
no,
He's a good size linebacker too.
yeah, he's 6'2" and 237 pounds. When you match that
6'3".
up,
Well, he might be 6'2" and
6'2"
6'2"
and a
plus.
half. That's what so one site will list him 6'2", the next site will list
Yeah.
him 6'3". He's in
Oh, I've
between.
heard some hilarious stuff going into the combine. These guys like claiming certain things. It's just, yeah. How much water did you drink overnight to gain,
Like Steve
14 pounds?
Claypool claiming he was Mapletron because he was the Canadian version of Megatron. Remember that?
Well, how would you guys, if you guys had to give a blanket letter grade for how Brad Holmes did, what would it be?
On that presser?
Just overall, I want a broad brush, one grade.
Broad
Don't get too deep with it. Just give me the first thing off the top of your head.
B+.
Flat A.
Yeah, I was A-.
We're all
and I
very good to
struggle
elite
with that.
grade is what we're at. And the only reason why I give it a B+ is because the three major trades we made for players giving up draft capital, and you can say what you want. Michael Brockers didn't work. Trinity Benson didn't work. And so far, DPJ hasn't worked. So other than that, I would have him at an A, is what I'm saying. So when you're giving up draft capital in an area where you draft guys that actually played in the NFL a lot, and we don't expect that much from GMs. We've never had guys that would pull out 5th, 6th, and 7th round gems that actually come in and play meaningful snaps before. When you're giving up that type of commodities to get these guys and they don't do well, and you could have used it to picking somebody, that's where I'm like, I give it a B+.
And James, he was actually smaller than that. He was 5'8".
Yeah, he was closer to 5'8", 5'7" than he was 5'9".
Yeah. And guess what? I just want to look at something on the internet because something intrigued me.
Mm-hmm.
So out of all the cities in America, what one do you think produces the most most NFL prospects?
Detroit, Michigan.
You got it. Number one. This year is 19.
Yep. Second place is Bradenton, Florida.
Okay, what's third place?
I don't remember. I just know because I live near Detroit and I used to live near Bradenton, so I know those two places.
Houston Texans? No, Houston Texans, Las Vegas, Atlanta, Miami, Cincinnati, Plantation, Florida, Tampa, Florida,
Tampa's a
Cleveland,
Woody
Indianapolis, Jacksonville, New Orleans, and St. Louis.
So I'm going to show it again because Woody's in here. If anybody wants to make a bid, $50. That includes a Richard Johnson card from DC Payload there. It is a signed Charles Harris regular helmet. And then there is that's the Richard Johnson down there. I know we talked about it. And that is a certificate of authenticity headliners Herman Moore from Oklahoma State, right?
No, Virginia.
Or Virginia? Okay. Yeah, that's right. He was a Virginia Hokie, wasn't he?
Yep. Cavalier.
Who was the Hokie?
Hokies are Oklahoma. Wasn't it Oklahoma State Hokies or something like that?
Hokies. No, I thought it was. Another thing that the fans in Arizona liked is that he was a Dan Campbell guy, and a shit ton of Arizona fans want them to try to mimic the Brad and Dan method. So former Lions are welcome there in Arizona. That's good to hear.
Virginia Tech is the
Isn't it
Hokies.
amazing that within less than 4 years, Detroit's gone from doing it the
yeah.
Patriots way to every other team wanting to do it our way?
Yeah,
That
think
swing, that swing is
I
insane.
think the most thing that the Lions are doing, they are setting the precedence in the NFL instead of them following the precedence in the NFL and being
Exactly.
4 or 5 years late on it, like they
Yeah.
used to be.
And
now they're setting precedence.
you don't just all of a sudden, and we prove that with Patricia, is that you don't just bring in a couple dudes from one organization and magically transform into what they were or are.
Mm-hmm.
It takes many years. So to your point, yeah, teams are going to start to mimic what we are doing here, but it's going to take them years to catch up, which means we're always going to be years ahead. And it's pretty comforting to think about it in that respect.
Yeah, Washington's another team that does that too, mimics the Detroit
comforting.
Lions.
Comforting. It's fucking fantastic, dude.
I'm in a mellow, full of antibiotics and
Yeah,
anti-pain.
I hear you. I'm just so stoked. I'm ready for this season, and I'm going to say it right now. We're still the kings of the North until somebody knocks the crown off this year. If Minnesota had one fraudulent season where they won 11 one-score games, thank God the Lions at least lost a couple one-score games, or we'd have been hearing about how fraudulent our team was.
Yeah, at least we got through the first round of the playoffs.
We got
Unlike
the
some
second
teams.
round of the playoffs.
Yeah. Halfway through the third.
I mean, there's only one team that's been fraudulent since 1997 in the playoffs, and that's the Dallas Cowboys.
What tells me that we're going to be successful this year is that we did not go undefeated in the preseason. So I know for a fact that we'll at least win one game.
And newsflash, any Bears fans that are out there, and Texans fans too, I'm sorry to inform you that since the inception of the Hall of Fame game, not a single participant of the Hall of Fame game has gone to the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah.
Kind of like the whole Stanley Cup thing. You don't touch the cup before you go into the Stanley Cup Finals. It's there. And you know, all these players are around it. You could physically get to it and you could touch it, but there's this curse that if you touch the Stanley Cup, you lose. And it's been true like 99% of the time.
Right.
For about 100 years now.
James Burgess, he goes, I'm juiced with Spectrum antibiotics too. The cocaine and meth will just have to wait.
So if all is true with all these myths and stuff they happen, since that Mr. Man is on the front of the cover of Madden, meaning McCaffrey, are they going to have one of them seasons?
You're talking about a team that still has 25 players on the injury report.
One of them is McCaffrey too, isn't it?
No, McCaffrey came back.
He came back. Okay. He
back.
Was hurt though. I know he was hurt at one time.
I think he went and had a taffy pill at St. Groin. I'm sorry, it was a groin pull at St. Taffy. I got that wrong. Sorry. But how do I think Carlton Davis is going to do? I think it's an up and down year for him because he's done really good against some really good wide receivers in the NFL in his tenure at Tampa Bay, and he's got burnt by lesser guys. So he's just like any other corner in the NFL. He's going to be good on some days. He's going to be bad on others. I mean, they had 25 players on the IR in week 3 of the preseason prior to the game. 25 players. Now, some of those are NFIs and pup lists and all of that crap. You know how that is. I'm just saying, their injury report was 25 players long at game time last week. And you can only have, 3 players on the comeback designation for IR when you set your 53? Everybody else has to go on pup and NFI? Oh, I think Amik Robertson's a dog. And he's gonna play his ass off to get out of that nickel spot. You watch.
Well, it just takes a failing by Tehran, or either one of the cornerbacks, the one or the twos that don't produce. He'll take one of their spots. Not do I think that he should be a number one? No, but number two is a possibility.
What you might want to look at, because this is why week 4 it will not be good for Seattle. Look up Carlton Davis's numbers versus DK Metcalf. He plays him the way Darrelle Revis used to play Calvin Johnson the couple times we played him. Remember how tough Darrelle Revis was for the Jets? No matter when it was when we play and he'd cover Calvin Johnson, he was a dog and he would stop Calvin pretty much. Calvin might get
Who's
a
this?
touchdown. Darrelle Revis is what I'm talking about.
Darrelle Revis didn't have nothing on the Chicago corner though.
No,
The Chicago corner we went against. Huh?
Peanut Tillman. Charles Peanut
Tillman. Yeah, Peanut Tillman used to keep Calvin. Don't ask me why, because they don't have the same height advantage either. It's just something that he's like his kryptonite or something, because he never played well when Peanut was out there.
I think the 49ers ain't too long from a fire sale rebuild. End of this year, maybe next.
Yeah.
They're $38 million over the cap before they re-signed Ayuk.
And they've got. I actually just looked up their 2024 cap space as I saw that comment come in. They're 22,157,697 dead cap.
Right.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of players.
Yeah, Amit Robinson is someone we signed immediately when he became available as a free agent, 100%. But at the same time, Carlton Davis, they went and traded for him, even though Craig Reynolds rolled him up like a rag doll when he blocked for Amon-Ra St. Brown with the block of the year.
Do you know what Deebo Samuel's cap hit is?
A lot.
28.6 million.
And they got to still pay him too, don't they?
That's 11.2% of the entire team.
He was paid in what was that? I just saw.
Hell, Nick Bosa is only less than 6% of the team.
Right. Nick Bosa's still got another year left on his rookie contract, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why. Yeah, San Francisco is going to have a problem just signing rookies. Yeah, we say this every year, and they kick the can down the road to where it works. And then the next year, they're struggling for a minute. Then they kick the can down. They'll be going the New Orleans Saints route. They'll not be resigning some top guys and end up extending everybody else that can clear even $1 million.
Is Trent Williams still holding out, or is he playing?
Trent Williams so far is holding out. He has not returned to camp yet.
That's not a good thing for them.
Yeah,
I keep trying to tell people offensive players, they hold offensive line players. If they hold out or don't play, they're especially if they're good like Trent Williams. That's going to be a problem for San Francisco. It's going to be a big problem
with nothing to show from it. Yeah, that's what's going to end up happening, because I think them to signing Ayuk means they're not signing Trent Williams this year. You know, everybody could say what they want, but you got to look at what they got left, because what they got left, they need to roll over to lessen that dead cap that they're over already next year. It's one of the reasons why we haven't gone hog wild. We're down to $31.5 million now after the signings of the people we added to the practice squad, and that's because some of those wide receivers, when they're signed to the practice squad at the league minimum for that position, it puts them into the 51 top salaried players. Mm-hmm. That's all it is.
So I have to retract from my statement about Cleveland, about making bad signings. I think there was a whole thing that went with this. I think they really thought this off over the period of time. Deshaun just redid his contract with them, freeing up $60 million in cap space. Do you know what that's going to be like at trade period?
Well, they can get whoever's on the trade block that they want at that point.
And
Yeah,
then the
'cause
next year,
they had 26 million left. When they restructured his contract, it cleared 36 million to make it 62 total.
mm-hmm.
And he extended it out so it makes it less every year going forward. And there's 2 void years now at the end of that contract, is what they did.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant move, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
They must have
Mm-hmm.
fired Bob Quinn out of the general manager's office because he would never do anything this fucking smart.
They put him in a fucking broom closet. That's what they did.
But it is that time where I got to start talking about sponsors, and we all know the first one. We love them so much. Broski's favorite team. You know what I got to say about them? Fuck the Bears.
There you go.
And I see that PC's getting his stuff ready.
I
There you go, PC.
I was stretching out.
Fuck the pack. 100%.
Mhm.
That's a FTP. And now let me get this off here. Let me make this guy full screen because he's going to let him have it. It's also fuck the
Fuck the
Vikings.
Vikings. There you go.
Woo-hoo. You know what's bad about it?
There you go. On top of everything else, there you go.
As much as I hate to say it, you know what it looks like?
Kind of, yeah, I
A
do.
Vikings fan riding a sperm.
Yeah, I know. First thing I thought of when I drew it. Thanks
Oh,
for
that's
reminding me.
Eventually, it comes home to roost like it did in New
Just
Orleans.
another wasted sperm.
They are
Damn.
sure clearing out, not crippled, but still limping, so to speak. Meanwhile, it's been Tampa Bay's division while they got underwater. Exactly. And
Yeah.
last but not least, it's Bistrilla's favorite sponsor because of the tagline. Brandon Service, located at the corner of South Grand Traverse and West Atchison Road on 602 West Atchison Road in Flint, Michigan. Flint, where the water's shit, but the tires are good. Give us a call if you need new tires, 810-233-8230. Talk to George Wright or myself. Used tires start at $40 a piece, depending on size and condition of the tire. That's mounted, balance, tax included, out the door.
Yep, that's my spot.
Did I tell you the owner heard me say that?
Yeah.
He loves it. He thinks
Yeah.
it's
What do you say? Fucking awesome. Yeah.
yeah, he goes, that's fucking awesome. He goes,
Mhm.
nobody would ever come up with something like that for me. Rando, now you tires.
No, then it would cost a lot.
Yeah, they would cost a lot more because they had to cover his salary.
Right. And they might not inflate all the way.
No, that's if Tom Brady owned it. Every
Guess how much cap space these San Francisco 49ers have left?
Nothing.
22?
Well, they're ranked 26th
Mm-hmm.
with
Yeah.
with all their players, right? I'm stuck on this because I got into the math on it.
Mm-hmm.
How much cap space they got left?
8 million.
Not even close.
Too high?
Yep.
2.5.
Before free agency in 2024. Before free agency.
Oh, before free agency?
Yep.
In 20, you're talking about this season, not next season, right?
2024. Yep. I'm on Yahoo Sports. So where all 32 teams stand up in cap space before 2024 free agency.
Oh, before free agency? They
Were negative $285,000.
Oh.
Before free agency. Before free agency, the Lions had 52 million. And if you look at the talent of the teams and where the trajectory of the teams, you do the math.
Right.
And it's the decisions that you make after that point.
And think about it. Who all we re-signed, and the fact we ended up clearing more cap overall compared to what we spent on who we got re-signed this year.
Mm-hmm. And they still have $7 million to play with or something like that. So
right, when you add it, Yeah, and then that's so misleading because it's funny because it says team cap space if you go at the top, but that's not net, right?
Well, this is funny because I'm on Sport Track and I'm looking at the 2024 cap, and San Francisco's actually second with 46,372,149 in cap space all together.
Yeah, this is before. This is before free agency. Is what I was looking at. I was looking at where everybody started at.
Oh, okay.
So the moves that they had to make. The point I was trying to make is the moves they had to make to get where they are now. They had to make compromises to get there.
Yeah.
Detroit didn't have to do that.
How long is Martin was given the 4 week designation for his knee hyperextension, and I think it's just to keep him from just bottoming out. So now, yeah, your total cap, like Lions have 226. The total cap that we spent is 226,706,651. The 51 cap space, because only the 51 players count against it, leaves us with 32,161,913. The reserve list is another 12 million, and the dead cap we're sitting at 30 right now.
Yeah, there's so many equations that go into that. You're right. It's not just this is the number and compared to this team's the number. So many factors go into that. Whoever's in charge, whoever's doing the accounting side of that, I don't envy. I'm not a numbers guy in that respect. But if you look at where our team starts before free agency and where they have to get to that 53 and what players they end up with, if you compare Detroit to a team like San Francisco, considering we were both in that game, we're both I would say we're very close as far as the level of competitiveness. You look at how smartly Brad Holmes has kind of, conducted this like an orchestra versus teams that are literally selling and mortgaging their future just to get to the Super Bowl. Detroit's building their future to get to the Super Bowl and then beyond that. It's a big difference between, spending a bunch of money to get to a place and building from ground up to sustain that. You see that a lot in other sports. Football's a really quick turnaround sport compared to most sports. Hockey's rebuilds are 10 years long. Baseball rebuilds can be quick. Basketball rebuilds can be fairly quick. The NFL rebuild can be a 3-year turnaround if it's done properly. And you have to get lucky in the draft too. Obviously, there's a lot of factors that go into that, but you also have to make very smart decisions with your money. Brad Holmes does shop at the dollar store a lot. You're right; he gets late round picks. He does a lot of smart stuff with his money. Other teams will take risks that he doesn't necessarily take with money. He takes the risks with the players that he doesn't spend the money on in the lower rounds and free agency. So there's a philosophy to it, and we've gotten lucky on a lot of that. So I'm really proud of how they've managed the money and been able to maintain that success level to compete with teams like San Francisco.
Okay. So, why did Glenn have him at DE anyway? He's a DT. FYI, if you add in the 18 snaps that Broderick Martin played last year, Broderick Martin has only played 1.5 seasons total, college combined, at defensive tackle. His first 2 years were spent at a community college in Alabama, where he was a defensive end in a 4-man front system. With him shedding the weight and being able to get his bend, they just wanted to see if he had that versatility to still do it. And when are you going to do that? Are you going to do it in season or are you going to do it in preseason? You 100% try it with a young guy who's still developing in preseason. As a matter of fact, he was actually a very good pass rusher from the defensive end spot for North Alabama Community College. He actually had 7 sacks his freshman year, and he had another 9 sacks his sophomore year. FYI. Lee McNeil was once a running back in high school. I had to fight to find those freaking stats about Roderick Burton as a defensive end. It was a pain in the butt. Yes, and if we don't blow all our cap this year, we can roll it and front load a nice deal for it for Lee. I don't think we should front load it because he drank some bad blue Kool-Aid. Oh. My question is still, why was Sudfield let go? Because Jake Frum came in with 3 days on the roster and played better than Sudfield did after being here for 2 seasons. I don't know how to make it any plainer than that. Yeah, I saw who it was. Doesn't even need to display.
Yeah. Stupid does and stupid sees.
But
I'm
thank
trying
you.
to figure out these caps here. It's weird. Okay, so
And there you go. Here's something to like at defensive line this year. Aleem, Reeder, and Hutch all lined up in a row. You can only double one guy. Who's your pick? That's what we've been screaming about the entire time. Nobody realizes how big that DJ Reader's coming back off of the pup list and being healthy this week, being able to train for 2 weeks prior to going to LA. Is it going to get him 100% in game shape? No, but if he's 100% healthy and at 80% game shape in that game, it's going to be huge, especially with the left tackle is suspended for the Rams for 2 weeks for whatever drugs he used. The right tackle's injured. The center went down last week in their game when they started some starters to help protect Stetson Bennett. And now Jonah Jackson comes back healthy and can't even play left guard. He's got to move to center because they don't have a backup center because that was poached off the waiver wire.
Yeah, they're going to be hurting when they come here.
Yeah, I mean, they had a guard and 3 tackles poached off their team. 2 of them went to Arizona.
Stafford's not at 100%. Puka Nacua came back too, but he's not at 100% either. I don't imagine they're going to get 100% by the time the season starts.
Right.
So
they're saying Puka is just starting to work out with trainers again right now. He's not practicing with the team or taking team reps yet because he's still got a stiffness in his knee. Because I don't know if anybody understands what a bursa-sac burst in your knee is. That's that little fluid you can barely feel on top of your knee. If that ruptures, it swells up like a balloon. You can't bend your knee. You can't hardly walk. You got to keep weight off of it. You got to keep it elevated. Ice, eat, all that good stuff. Because you're trying to get all that fluid to basically remove to a sack again. Aleem versus Jonah. I know who I double if I'm McVay. They can't double. That's what I'm saying. You got way too many people playing in bad positions. Aleem and Reeder are going to be coming up against a backup right guard, a backup left guard, and a center who's never played the position. Tell me how good that's going to be with a backup tackle and another backup tackle. They've only got one starter on their O-line. It's the right guard.
You just kind of close your eyes and look at it for a second. Who are you going to double? Hutch? Well, if you double him, Aleem's open. Double Reader's going to take 2 guys on automatically. So you don't even need a blitz. Really, if you really think about it, somebody's going to be either unblocked or one-on-one, and you take Aleem or Hutch or Reeder, you double any one of those guys. I guarantee you, within 10 minutes of Glenn seeing that, he's going to start bringing one guy off the edge to rush. And then there's no stopping him because you're going to have a pass rush on every single down without having to add a blitz to it.
Right.
You can't stop that.
We could even
They're going to
actually
basically
run
be
that
stuck running the
5-man
ball.
front.
The people that the position that's going to be most affordable with this whole situation is the back seven, because you got the linebackers. Them linebackers, if they're playing run and they have to double and they're having problems doubling the defensive line, them linebackers are going to be having some tackles for loss, a lot of tackles. When it's passing downs, you don't really if you're going to have two linebackers out there, because that's what they usually play, because of the fact it's a passing lead and they want to put out five to what, 7 or 7 defensive backs. You got that. One linebacker can blitz really, and one linebacker can drop back in coverage and help the even if it's in a nickel, they can help the corners out there, and that's easy pickings for a pick. So you can confuse the coverage.
That's the one thing that I was happy to hear about on what 2 things Jack Campbell most improved upon. And this isn't just from AG, this is also from Calvin Shepard and Dan Campbell. Number 1 is leadership. Number 2 is pass coverage. He's starting to look like he was, because he was used in pass coverage a lot at Iowa. Everybody
He dropped back a ton.
So now he's starting to get that feel for the speed of the game in the NFL and be able to do it here. Because think about the people he was trying to cover when they went in their slants over the middle. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, Sam Laporta. None of those guys are slow.
Well, if you think about the 2 positions that are the hardest to learn when you first come in the league as far as the defense go, it's defensive back, linebacker. There's so much to learn. I mean, those guys out on an island, they got to choose whether to go back in coverage or, stay put. And you could see it a lot, especially with Jack, is that he kind of hesitated to make one move or the other, and he get beat.
Right.
And it sounds to me like what you're saying is that he's gotten over that hesitation hump. Plus, obviously, the entire defensive back it's been completely rebuilt, so he's got a lot more support back there too.
I wouldn't be counting on if he doing anything in the first game, James.
He's dealing with
He's still hurt.
Yeah, he's still dealing with a hamstring strain. They're saying he might actually be going to the IR for 4 weeks. They just couldn't do it this week because they just set the roster. Because Broderick Martin already had a 4-week designation right after the 3rd preseason game.
Don't worry about Iffy. Don't worry about Iffy on them safety blitzes. I'm sure Brian, he's going to be.
Yeah, he's going to bring. They're going to bring Iffy and Branch.
Branch is going to be bringing the pain. So.
Yeah, no matter which way you slice it, as far as back to that O-line versus D-line, we're not going to have these stunt packages to get in there anymore. Reeder does so much for this defense that we haven't seen it, obviously, because he hasn't been playing in training camp and all, but it's such a big difference to have somebody next to a lean that will suck up 2 guys so he can get through the line, because the amount of times he got double teamed last year was like pretty much all the damn time.
Right. Other than the first few weeks that Isaiah Buggs became available, when he took on a few double teams, we would see Nalim start to get pressure and sacks then. And then in the game where Broderick Martin got the bulk of his snaps because Benito Jones went down and he came in towards the end of that game. If you actually look, even though all he played was 10 snaps in that first game he was in, it's pretty great when 6 of them are double teamed. He was bowled over one time because he got too high and everybody ragged on him about it. But you got to look at the bigger picture. You got to pay attention to every snap he was in, not just the one bad one that sticks in your head. That's what most fans do. They remember that one bad play, and they're like, "Oh, this guy's a bum. This guy's a bum. He sucks."
Oh yeah, you remember all the people that were hating on Reynolds and people were hating on Vildor. I'm like, it took a whole game to get to that point. You can't put it on one guy. It's not a one guy sport. This isn't baseball where a guy struck out. It's not the same deal.
And I said it, I think, properly about the Vildor thing.
Say what?
The Vildor thing. It was not only unfortunate, it was probably a 1 in 1 million chance that ball, the point of it, that hits that half-inch wide face mask and bounces perfectly to Ayuk's hand. He was in position for the play. Ayuk did not run a good route. He let up on the route. Vildor got ahead of him. He was in position to make the interception. He didn't get his hands closed in time, and we all know what happened after that. But that was after all they scored was a field goal, if I remember right.
Every player on every team makes a boneheaded play. Sometimes it doesn't come at the most opportune times. And you got to look at big picture, man.
And I really couldn't count that as a boneheaded play, just because it's a play of chance. That's what it was.
Yeah, I don't mean to directly connect the two as a boneheaded play. I didn't mean it like that. I mean, you'd say it this way: every player has unfortunate things happen when they're on the field, and it touches them at some point, and it's their fault, right? That's just how people.
For me, it wasn't the fact that Reynolds dropped passes that I had the issue with. It was how he acted after he dropped them and how he acted in the presser after the game. I'm sorry, I'm a competitor. I'm very competitive. I hate losing. So if I make a mistake that costs my team, no matter the sport, I can care less if it's just playing 8-ball pool and doubles. I hate missing a shot that makes us lose the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be smiling and giggling my way to the sideline after I drop a pass that would have meant we had a first down and possibly win the game. And he did it after both of them. The one, I get it. He did have a guy on him. He's falling to the ground. It hit him in the hand still. And that's predominantly what your job is. There's a lot of other things involved, but your main job is catching that football, correct?
Yeah.
So that one I get. The second one, when he was wide open, there wasn't anybody within 5 yards of him. It hits him in the hands and it just goes to the ground. That is the one that was unforgivable for me.
You get in your own head. We've all done it. You get in your own head about something and you just can't get out of it. And I think he got to that point where he's laughing at himself. It's not just him laughing at people around him or the situation. He's like, how in the, am I doing this? And he's laughing it off because that's a natural emotion people have sometimes when they're completely, they don't know how to, they don't know how to deal with the stress they're in the moment, right? So it may look to us like he's laughing, like it's funny. I guarantee in his head he's not thinking it's funny. He's thinking, "Fuck, I'm letting my team down. This is how my stress is coming out right now." But I totally understand your perspective.
Or laughing because he's like, "Fuck, I catch this shit 9 out of 10 times. I guess this was my 10th time."
Basically, hysterically upset with himself, and that's just how it's coming out.
That's how I looked at it.
That's my view on it. I'm not saying I'm right.
And I could have.
Well, that's how I looked at it too.
But in the presser, when he was asked directly, how do you feel about those 2 draft passes? Shit happens, and walked off the stage. That was when I was done.
Well, the team was done too.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying that.
Obviously, yeah.
When I was done with Reynolds, is what I'm saying. When I watched that presser and he did that, I was like, wow.
Well, I guarantee that the team didn't like it either.
Oh, 100%. I think that pressure and the reaction to those specific catches, I think that is what got him off the team more than the act itself. That's what I'm getting at.
I would agree with that. Yeah, it's how you deal with it, man. It's adversity. How you deal with adversity. Do you scrape yourself off the ground, get back up, and make it better, or do you act like it's no big deal? If you do something on your own, right? You screw up. You don't hurt anybody else. You can do whatever you want with it. But when you're on a team, and it's not just a team, the world's eyes are on you. That reflects, it magnifies the reflection of how it reflects on that team.
Right.
So if you act like that, it makes the team look bad, not just you. And I think that they took that and said, okay, well, maybe it's time to move, right? Maybe. Now, on that note, though, Holmes made it a point in his presser, they wanted to get Reynolds back. There was basically a question, how are you going to deal with this? You didn't get the guy you wanted, blah, 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 blah. You signed these 2 guys, but you wanted Reynolds back. And Holmes was like, yeah, we wanted Reynolds back, but he wasn't available. So who knows what happened on those conversations between him and Reynolds. And I'm sure he apologized. I'm sure he did. Not necessarily because he was sorry, but because he wanted to keep his job.
Right. I'm just saying, in that moment, in those 3 moments when that happened, and then remember when he set up, caught the pass with 3 guys on his back. Remember this? late in the game, in the fourth quarter, Goff heaves one downfield. It was like a 30-yard pass. He just jumps in the middle of three guys, snatches it out of the air, and catches it like it's nothing. And I'm like, where the fuck was that last quarter?
I was beside myself, like shaking emotional that whole game. Like I'm sure every Lions fan that's been around, who's been on the planet as long as you or I have, were just like shaking in anticipation. Um, and so every reaction that I had was also over emotional too. So I'm not going to judge anybody based on how I was feeling.
I almost started sending out mass texts to a few 49ers fans I knew. I was like giddy, like a little schoolgirl, damn near crying myself. I was so happy at halftime. And then I literally, when I saw the Gibbs fumble and the wheels start to come off, that wave of emotion rushed right away. You know what I mean? It went from, it was almost like the end of the Ravens game when we watched the kick and the ball hits the crossbar and then bounces through. That half a second that you're going, yes, we did it. We beat the mother bitch.
No, I was saying it all halftime to my brother. I said, "This game is not over. I like we're gonna have to go up by 40 points for me to feel even remotely comfortable." Because I knew for a fact San Francisco is getting their asses chewed out at halftime, and the Lions are riding this wave. I'm like, it's not gonna go down like this. I just knew it wasn't, and exactly what you said, that Gibbs fumble. I'm like, here we go. We got to all I could think of, we got to hold them for 30 minutes. Because I'm thinking, okay, third quarter, so we're not scoring. And then we got to hold them off in the fourth quarter because it's going to be this huge wave of momentum switch. And man, it was that slow ride off the cliff, for like an hour and a half as that game went on. But I still to this day cannot go back and watch that game.
There were so many people that fought for that second half. I think the only person I couldn't blame anything on in the second half was Goff himself. I think he still played a really good game in the second half. But everybody else around here, Amon was making uncharacteristic drops. Josh was making a fumble by Jahmyr Gibbs. That was uncharacteristic of him. Bad game management by DC at the end where he should have kicked the field goal instead of going for it again. I was like, dude, kick the field goal. You'll tie the game. It'll be like starting over again. Do that. Your team will lead outside. Your team right now is on the back of their heels right now. So you want to do something to make sure that the team says, we still got a chance. We're tied game. Let's do this. That's all you had to do.
I got a hilarious story about that field goal. Real quick, 30-second story. So I'm in my brother's basement in South Line watching this game. There's no windows in this basement. You can't hear shit outside this house. The next closest house is like half an acre away. Right as they're about to go for that, I could hear through the brick wall, through somebody else's house, kick the motherfucking field goal, you fucking idiots. I could hear that like through walls. So the whole neighborhood was losing their mind as that happened. Oh man, yeah. So I got goosebumps.
Like the first fourth down. I mean, the first fourth down he went through, they had a 14-point lead. So I wasn't apprehensive about that one. I'm cool. This is what DC does. Got a 14-point lead. He's trying to shove the ball down their throat and score so that it's out of contention for San Francisco. He was going for the kill shot. Didn't work out. Fine. But then that last fourth down, he should have kicked the field goal. I'm like, dude, quit doing that. They don't have enough confidence right now. They're not playing defense well right now. They're not playing offense as well right now. They don't have the confidence right now. Get the field goal kicker in there. Let Bashley kick that field goal. Get everybody back on that page again. And then let's start over again and just let that Musa come out. And then kick their ass. That's what you got to do. But it worked that way.
I'm going to reply to Blue and Silver here. Undrafted free agent receiver made Denver's roster over Tim Patrick. Do you know why? I do. There was almost no dead money left. He had guaranteed contract. It was a fully guaranteed contract he signed 3 years ago after he had that great year in the slot with the 785 yards and 5 touchdowns that year. which for a number 3 wide receiver, those are really good numbers. So they signed that 3-year extension. He goes out, blows an ACL. Goes out the next year and in preseason, ruptures an Achilles tendon. This year was the only year with no dead cap hit. They were over the cap. They had to cut him. They now have $1.3 million in cap space.
And they still got to pay him.
And they're still paying him, but because there was no dead cap, that's why it saved him money. But he's making money from them still, and he makes money from us. That's a win-win for both parties. Tim Patrick and the Lions, that is.
I'm going to sign off tonight, gentlemen. I got a dog duty here.
All right, buddy.
Ready to go do dog duty here. I do have one more question for you before you run.
Sure.
Who is the tallest receiver in NFL history? And he's actually somebody different.
Sorry, I missed the question. I couldn't hear you.
Who is the tallest wide receiver in NFL history? Don't Google it. I hear you typing.
No, I'm not. I'm
my talking about Drilla. He was getting ready to Google.
Not Googling either.
Tallest?
Wasn't even getting ready.
Do you know who it is? I do.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably Fitzpatrick. I don't know.
Like dedicated receiver or somebody who caught the ball once?
No, dedicated receiver. Like that 8,985 yards and
85 Super Bowl. I have no clue.
It was Harold Carmichael of the Eagles.
Oh, the Eagles.
Yeah, I would have been here all night trying to guess that.
6'8".
Damn.
Oh, man.
No wonder why he could catch 79 touchdowns and almost 9,000 yards in his 13-year career.
I always wondered why a basketball player didn't convert. That's not fair. I'm sure they have. I'm sure there were basketball players that you never knew play basketball that ended up getting drafted. But
Antonio Gates,
like the Bo Jackson situation, I'm surprised you didn't see somebody do like dual sports like that.
They thought Antonio Gates would have been a lottery pick as a power forward, and he came out as a tight end.
Yeah, some of these guys, obviously they're not built for a different sport completely, but some of these, guards are probably built well enough. I mean, even the guards, some of them are 6'4", 6'5", 6'7", get up that high. So, and you got more athletic as a guard, but I'd have to look that up. I'll bet you there are at least a few out there that you would never knew played like good college basketball, and then just converted.
All of those fast tight ends that were coming out in the late 90s, early 2000s, Antonio Gates, Mercedes Lewis, there was a couple other ones, Jermichael Finley. They were all basketball stars at their colleges too. And they all played either small or power forward. That's why they said LeBron James, if he switched to the NFL, he'd be one of the best tight ends at 6'8", 240 pounds, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, until somebody lays him out, and then he's done.
Man, he flops when nobody touches him in basketball. Could you see?
That dude. There's some players that are artists at it, and some players that are obvious at it. And he's just.
Well,
in the NFL, the thing about LeBron James playing in the NFL, nobody's gonna get out of his way when he's running down the field. They're gonna be laying wood on him.
Exactly. Somebody's gonna lay him out, and he'd be done.
The problem with collegiate men's wrestling is they have matches almost any night of the week, and it's ran at the exact same time as football. That's why there isn't a lot of scouting for heavyweight college wrestlers for linemen. And Golden Tate was drafted by the San Francisco Giants. This is true.
Drew Henson was drafted by the New York Yankees.
After he was drafted by the Texans. Or no, Cowboys. Cowboys, that's right.
Yeah, Cowboys, yeah.
That's why
when guys, I got to take
off on you. PC. We'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.
Just hit me up on X if you auction that helmet off so we can get this karma to him,
Okay, no problem.
and we'll take care of it.
So we did an auction to help raise money for Cameron Luke. He was on earlier. He's got to have a kidney removed because he's got kidney failure. There is a couple of things here of note. The hat's gone. The polo's gone. The Amon-Ra St. Brown bobblehead's gone. But we have a Herman Moore bobblehead, which you can see on the shelf back there behind Bistrilla.
It's not a
That's
bobblehead, but yeah, it's a figurine. It's still good.
I'm sorry, figurine. It looks like a bobblehead. And when it's sitting up there, I think it's a bobblehead.
You can do it like that. You bobble.
If you're moving, it bobbles. Gotcha.
There you go.
We'd also have Charles Harris signed mini helmet and a Richard Johnson 1989 scorecard. It's in very good, like a 6 rating on the 10 scale. So that bid is $50. If anybody wants it, please send me an email anytime over the weekend. We are going to do this again in 2 weeks with our preseason show that week. But tune in next week on Friday night when we do our pregame show, where we actually get to talk about real football coming up that Sunday. We're 9 days away, people. Woo! Let's go.
How many days for Aaron Rodgers now?
623 days since the last time Aaron Rodgers completed a pass in regulation football.
There you go.
To anybody other than
My favorite
Kirby.
stat.
I know. Hey, didn't Aiden Hutchinson get an interception in the red zone in that game too?
Yep.
Because that was his third pick of the year, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Didn't he also in the first game throw one to Kirby and to Aiden in the first game we played against them in Ford Field that year?
Yeah, that was the first game. Yeah, that was the first game. The second game, he didn't throw a pick to Aiden. That was just strictly to Kirby.
Oh, right. I'm just saying it was like
Kirby ended the game with an interception. That's what he did.
he ended that game. Dad, do you think Isaiah Buggs will get a bobblehead? If that's what you want to call that guy in jail, sure. I know I ain't right.
He's just a troll. He's such a troll. Stop trolling.
Try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. Have much love with you. See you guys Sunday night for the NFC North and East Power Hours, where we will get to hear Homer Von Doom gloat about Adoree Jackson being back on the roster.